So hello everyone. So in this video, I have with us Susmita Mazumdar. Now Susmita is a batchmate of mine, and she recently did her Uber internship during the summers of 2021. And I'm very privileged to get her today in this podcast. And in this podcast, we're going to know everything about her internship at Uber. We're going to know about the company culture, what kind of work did she do. We're going to know about like some of the fun moments, some of the perks and benefits that she got. And we're gonna also going to know what is like how to get a PPO at Uber. So before all of this, Sushmita, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Susmita Mazumdar and I'm a final year EC student at IIT Kharagpur. And I did my internship at Uber during the summer break of 2021. It was a 8-week internship and I worked on full stack development with the Hyderabad team.
Okay, awesome. So you interned at Uber, you also got a PPO. First of all,
Yeah,
congratulations for that.
thanks.
So like, can you share some of the work that you did at Uber, like say over the course of these 2 months? And we'd love any kind of details that you can provide so that it helps the
Yeah,
students
sure.
who will be interning at Uber maybe.
Yeah, sure. So, like during the first 2 weeks of the internship, we got acquainted with the tech stack through code labs and orientation sessions. And also during this time, we were introduced to our manager and mentor, and they gave us an overview of the project. And the next step was preparing a design doc for the project. So once I got it reviewed by my mentor and the manager, I could start working on the implementation. So as I said earlier, I worked on full stack development. So it basically involved React.js for the front end and Golang for the back end. So I was building an interface for a utility, which is currently being used internally at Uber.
Okay, so
And
this was being internally used at Uber,
yeah, right.
right? Okay, you can continue. Okay, there isn't much to say.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so like for the other tech stack, like you used for React for front end, and like for backend you used Golang, and for database, what did you use? MongoDB.
No, it was Hive database.
Okay, okay, got it. So that's great. So like, can you talk a bit about maybe the culture of the company and obviously how did that culture impact you? Like I've heard a lot of good things about Uber and its work culture. So like, can you confirm a bit of these and what was the culture like?
So like the best thing that I found really helpful during my internship is that they treat the interns just like full-time employees and they value your opinions.
Right.
So like we were also given somewhat autonomy over the implementation details of our project. So like we had to get it reviewed. Yeah, our opinions, our decisions were respected. So that's a good thing. Also, it taught me to be more self-reliant. So, like whenever I faced a doubt, like my manager told me, he suggested that I look into the other sources like the Slack channels because it's quite possible that people before me have also faced this. So this taught me to be more self-reliant. The other thing is that like all the employees were very helpful. So I worked with my mentor, and whenever I faced a doubt and my mentor was not able to solve it, he connected me with other people. So other people from his team or maybe from some other teams also. And they all helped me as much as they could.
Right. About the last point you mentioned last time that you talked to Akshay Saini as well for front end development. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
I
cool.
did.
That's pretty
Actually,
cool.
he helped me with the front end part.
Okay.
So
That,
Dockers because the project which I was working on, so I was building it from scratch. So I
hmm.
had to provide in some services for it, and so like I required some help. And my mentor was basically a data engineer, so he hadn't worked before in this field. So he connected me with Akshay Saini, and he helped me a lot during the course of my internship.
Right, that's awesome. And about the second point, I noticed this. I noticed the same thing at Amazon as well, that before approaching any of the mentors and the manager, maybe we should try to like explore these doubts ourselves on the Slack channel, or
Yeah.
maybe to help with other people other than our mentor. Maybe some of the senior interns, say the 6 months intern, they are usually great people who we can ask our help rather than directly asking the mentor or manager. And I've seen that this usually creates a great impression on them that this guy is able to solve their like most of his doubts, most of her doubts by himself or herself before asking
Yeah,
anyone.
right,
And
it
so I
does.
think this creates a great impression, and certainly is a great tip for PPO as well. So like if you want to get a PPO, this is a great thing that a person can do.
Yeah, actually, during the midterm evaluation, my manager gave me this feedback. I exploring a bit when I face a blocker or something, explore
Right,
a bit and becoming more self-dependent. So
right.
that
Right. So, like now, can you describe what a day in the life of an Uber intern looks like? Starting from like how, when did you wake up? When did your work start? You mentioned that it was very flexible. So, can you give some kind of more
yeah,
details
yeah.
about this? Like, what was the Uber internship like?
Yes. So, like, I'm not a morning person, and so what I found really helpful is that we didn't have any like fixed working hours. The working hours were very flexible. So, like, I used to have this regular stand-up meeting with my mentor and manager at around 11 a.m. And I used to start working in the afternoon and work till evening, like 7 or 8 p.m. like that. And I had to work approximately 7 to 8 hours per day. And like also we don't have any fixed working hours as such. It depended on the project. So, like some people got a bit easier project, so they had to dedicate lesser time, like 5 to 6 hours maybe. So mine was a bit loaded. I had to dedicate 7 to 8 hours. Yeah. So flexible working hours. This was a really good thing. Like yeah, and on Fridays, like alternate Fridays, we used to have meetings with the full team, and these were like informal sessions only. We discussed the work that we were doing quite informally with the other people in the team. It was also fun. And also like on Wednesdays we used to have some fun activities like virtual DJs, maybe game evenings. And
Right.
then also I remember Uber hosted 2 lunch parties for the interns during these 2 months. Yeah, and also I remember another thing is that towards the end of our internship, just 1 week before the internship ended, we had a poster presentation session. So we this time it happened virtually. So we had to prepare a poster and we had to present the work that we were doing, and all the employees from Uber Hyderabad and Bangalore office, they attended these sessions and they asked us questions and they gave us feedbacks with that.
Wow, that's cool. Like also you mentioned that uh, even though you people were hired as SD interns or SWE interns, people had to work on machine learning and full stack development. Like, is that true? And like, can you maybe talk a bit about that?
Yeah, so like we they didn't ask us for any interests as
Hmm.
such. The projects were actually allotted quite randomly, I guess.
Hmm.
And so like my work was on full stack development. Some of the interns also worked on like machine learning and NLP problems. So, like the tech stack is like involves a lot of things, and most of these are open source. So, like Golang, then React.js, everything, and we don't use but even the frameworks that have been developed internally by Uber. These are also open source. So,
Okay.
yeah, we had to work on a like large range of tech stack.
Okay, awesome. Now, can you mention like some of the gifts and the perks that you received, say pre-internship, during the internship, like after the internship, any perks or benefits that you received during this time?
Yeah, sure. So, like, the stipend was actually pretty good. And besides this, we received a MacBook for the internship purpose. And also, we received a box of goodies, which comprised of this a t shirt, a diary, pen, a zipper. And besides these, we also got Uber credits for 3.7K per month. So, actually, this credit has a validity of 1 month. And using this, I can book free rides with Uber. But
Right.
since due to this pandemic situation, like
Yeah.
I wasted.
Okay. Okay. That's sad. But hopefully, when you'll be there as a full-time employee in
Yeah, even the
Bangalore,
employees received the same perk. Yeah,
right? If you like, when you get there as a full-time employee, you'll be able to use that fully.
I'll be able to
Uh,
use it. Yeah.
Right. No, now can you mention some of the fun moments during an internship so that people realize that it's not always work, work, work during an internship? Like you mentioned, DJ parties, lunch parties, all of that. So can you mention some of
Yeah.
these? Can you talk a bit about some of these?
Okay, so as mentioned earlier, we had these virtual game evenings, the DJ, and lunch parties. Besides this, I remember we had this 1 week long Interns Got Talent, during which we connected with interns across the globe. We took part in talent shows, meme battles,
Right.
games, etc. And also, like the best part was we got to interact with Dara, who is the CEO of Uber.
Wow. Yep. I think we talked about this last time as well, and that's an incredible thing that you get to talk directly with the CEO of a company, that
Yeah,
CEO of a
everyone was
company
very
like Uber.
excited.
Right, CEO of a company like Uber, which is such a huge company expanding in India and already grown to such an extent in outside of India. So that's amazing as an intern to be able
Yeah.
to interact with him. Now, finally, like you have gotten a PPO from Uber, so can you mention some of the tips and tricks so that people can know basically that how to get a PPO at a company at Uber, or maybe just to perform better at the internship so that they can get a PPO as well. So, what are some of the things that you did that you think helped you get a PPO?
Okay, so like as I mentioned earlier, we had this midterm evaluation. Now, this midterm
Hmm.
evaluation is not used for hiring purpose. The manager prepares a list of your strengths and weaknesses or areas you need to focus on. So you need to take that review quite seriously and work on those points which you mentioned, that which you found your weakness. So like you pointed out that I should be more self-dependent and like have more develop more ownership on this project and try solving my problems by myself, because that will be a good learning opportunity for me. So
Right.
I took this seriously and then I explored a lot. And so during my final review, he was quite pleased with me. Also, like we for the final hiring process, we had to present our work before a panel which comprised of my mentor, manager, the manager of my manager, and a recruiter. So the
Okay.
senior manager who was there, so he asked me a lot of questions. So he asked technical questions like how did you implement a certain feature? What data structures did you use? So you need to be very thorough with what you have implemented and why you have implemented, because he might ask you that why did you choose to do this and not this? Like
Hmm.
and he'll ask you to compare between these two things. So you should be very thorough with what you have done and why you have done that. So be prepared to answer such questions and take the reviews seriously. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and like your entire PPO depended on this last presentation that you did before your manager, senior manager, all of that, or did it,
No,
or there
not
were other
just
factors
that.
as well?
Yeah, the so this last presentation which I did, plus the review given by my mentor and my manager. So it depended on that as well. And in fact, like during the internship, as I said, that my mentor connected me with some people who helped me
Hmm.
resolve. So he also got some reviews from them, and those were also taken into consideration.
Right, right. That is actually very similar to what we do at Amazon as well. Like at Amazon, I did not have to present anything, but I had to present like midterm evaluation as well as an end term evaluation. And my manager also presented a midterm and an end term evaluation, and they both had to present these to a senior manager. And these three, like the mentor, the manager, and that senior manager, will decide who gets a PPO and who would
Yes,
not.
you're right.
Right. So like I was not asked to present, but that's how usually it works. Okay, now
Yeah.
this is the common question that I get from juniors, especially that okay, I do not know a lot of tech stack. I do not know web development. I have only done CP or DSA till now. So what would you like to say to them, to these guys, to prepare better for their internship? Say before their internship even starts, how can they prepare for this internship?
Yeah, so like having command over one language, be it C or C++,
Hmm.
is very useful, because then the tech stack that you'll be using, suppose you're working on backend, so you might be working on Golang or Java, so you'll be able to easily understand these languages if you have some strong command over some other similar language like C++.
Right.
So, first point is this. Secondly, what I found useful is that having a basic knowledge of web development or maybe JavaScript or React.js, and a basic knowledge of machine learning. Like you don't have to go very deep deeper into the concepts like deep learning, GANs, etc. Having a basic knowledge, a working knowledge, and some knowledge of Python is very helpful. It will give you a head start. So during the orientation sessions, you'll be knowing about the project on which you'll be working, and you can figure out things that how you can implement features and all. So that will be really helpful. Having a very basic knowledge, you need not dive very deeper into these.
Okay, and this is also a question like before your internship started, or maybe during your internship, say the first 1 2 weeks, were you given time to learn these skills, or were you asked to start working on your project like from the start as well? Only like
No, not immediately. So we started with the implementation 2 weeks later. So
Hmm.
during the first 2 weeks, they shared some code lab docs with us,
Right.
which and we could go through the relevant docs and practice those, learn those required set of skills. And also we
Okay.
had some more sessions to acquaint us with the tech stack.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, these were my questions. Thank you so much, Sushmita, for being here. This was extremely inspiring for all the people out there. I'm sure they're gonna love this, and I hope you found this interesting as well.
Thanks, Nilan, for inviting me.
Thank you so much.